What's going on, people? Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. Welcome back to another episode of 5 Things We Learned, the show where we go through all the recent talking points surrounding the last Chelsea game, that one being the 3-0 win. Yet again, another 3-0 win, this time against Wolves in the Premier League. Our third win on the bounce under Graham Potter since he's taken over. And 4 games in, he is still unbeaten. Plenty to get into in today's video. Before we start, as always, hit that like button if you guys haven't done so already. We're aiming for 500 likes in today's video, so guys, hit that button if you guys haven't done so already. Subscribe if you want to help the channel out, and if you want to be the first to know whenever we release any new content, hit that bell notification button, because there's content coming out on this channel every single day in the build up to the World Cup. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And yeah, let's just get straight into it, because I mean, there's so much positives to take from this. It's our third win in a row. It's our second 3-0 win in a row. We had 7 players rotated and we still won very convincingly. 2 open play assists for Mason Mount. Goals for Pulisic, goals for Havertz, goals for Broja. We had rest for Aubameyang, Sterling, James, Kovacic, Thiago Silva. Like, it was brilliant. Like, there it really isn't a lot negative to take from it. I did think we started poorly, but we will get into that later on into the video. It was all just about getting the first goal, and as soon as we did, the entire game opened up. And as soon as Havertz put that header in for 1-0, the game turned on its head. It was basically a game of 2 halves for me. We started having a lot more space to deal with after we got our first goal. We had players starting to take on other players 1v1, and we started making more chances. Pulisic's goal and his link up with Mason Mount was unbelievable for the second goal. Everyone's saying it had shades of Eden Hazard with the little 1-2 and the fade and everything, and I do see it. I want to see that a little bit more consistently as well, but we are starting to see those attacking patterns of play. And that was one of my few positives with the first half as well, because we were clearly generating chances all over the field. The problem was we just weren't putting it in the back of the net. And I do believe that could still come with time, and if it doesn't, we're probably just going to bring in more clinical attackers anyway. But we're starting to play better as a team, especially with rotation as well, and that was going to be my first talking point. 7 players rotated in this game, and in spite of that, we still got a very convincing result. Like, I'll be real, I took one look at that lineup and I thought, if we get a 1-0, I'll be happy with that. I thought we were going to seriously struggle in that game, and from the way we were playing in the first half, we kind of did. We kind of did. But at least we dominated. We weren't losing the possession battle or anything. Wolves weren't really playing their game against us. It was more, we were just struggling to put the ball into the back of the net. And as soon as we did that and Wolves had to come out and try and attack us, it was all Chelsea. Because we were still dominating, but now we had much more space to deal with. Now defenders were being left more isolated. Now players could pick other players out, and we could isolate players, and we could dominate in the attacking third and actually put the ball in the back of the net a bit more. And we started seeing that happen more after we got that first goal. I'm very happy with the way that we played, especially with the rotation, because it does show we can rely on this entire squad a lot more. Whereas in the last few weeks, it felt like there was a string of players that you could 100% trust, and the rest were more just going to kind of truck along with the rest of the side. We're seeing a lot more contribution now. A lot more contribution. Like we said earlier, Mount's getting open play assists. Havertz and Pulisic are scoring. Broja's finally got his first goal for the club. Gallagher looked unbelievable, and that goes straight into my next point as well, because the 2 attackers that I wanted to isolate and talk about were Conor Gallagher and Mason Mount. Gallagher, I thought, was unbelievable. I thought he was showcasing his strength, his physicality. He was helping defensively. Offensively, he was potentially our best player in that first half. I thought he was constantly stringing out chances. Very unlucky not to get an assist. And I thought, especially after the first few weeks under Thomas Tuchel, he's really starting to staple his claim at the club now. I'm not saying he should be starting regularly over anybody, because I still can't really tell what our strongest 11 looks like right now, but I mean, we'll ask him to play more in around the midfield to attacking third, and he looks so much more confident. He looks so much better. I thought it was a brilliant performance from him. Mason Mount too, very happy with his performance. 2 open play assists. And if you know me, like, that's been the one thing I've been criticizing him the most for. I'm not seeing him showcase his creativity. I'm not seeing him make the right decisions in the final third. He did it brilliantly. I still thought he was very wasteful before the goal, but that was a case for basically the entire attack. As soon as he put that brilliant cross into the box for Kai Havertz, it was a completely different game. That 1-2 as well, like, it only shows the confidence that he was starting to grow into as the game progressed, and I was very happy with his performance. I thought he played really well. So my second point was I just wanted to pinpoint Gallagher and Mount's performances because it was just brilliant. But it also segues nicely into my third point, and this is about creativity, because I think after this game and potentially the AC Milan game, I do still think we need a creator specifically, but I do believe a problem with us as well was that we weren't really coaching attacking plays, and because of Tuchel's freedom that he gave the attackers in the final third, they all seem to look a little bit clueless. I still think to an extent, like, our end product still has to improve, but at least now we look like we're making more chances. At least now we look like we're asking more questions of defensive shapes in the first half. Whereas before, we would just pinball the ball around midfield. We would never really try anything. We're now making better shots from distance. We're now getting the ball into good positions inside the box for players to take shots. We still need to finish better. And like, I think that's just going to come in time. But at least now we're generating attacking plays. You can see an improvement in the way that we're moving the ball, in the way that we're playing. And I'm happy with it. And I just want to see us improve in that regard as well. But I just wanted to earmark that too, because I don't know if it's a case of we just need a creator and our creativity is just going to be sorted now. I do think it will improve with one. But Potter is now starting to improve our players, and they're starting to get a better understanding of what they need to do in the final third. And I think both of them play a factor into this. The fourth point I wanted to bring up was the defence, because we look a lot more solid defensively again, and that's even with rotation. Trevor Chalobah in the back four looks really good on the ball. Progressive passes, progressive play on the ball. He looked excellent. I genuinely think once this guy sorts his defensive positioning out and his decision making too, I think we're going to have a serious centre back on our hands, because if he's already showing these qualities in his second season at Chelsea, I think if you give him a few more times to mature into his position, I think he's going to be a brilliant defender for us. Koulibaly, I thought, was solid as well. He was switching the play around for fun, and he was imperious at the back. Azpilicueta we need to talk about, because he looked like he had his engine back finally. He was all over that right-hand side defensively and defensively. Never really seemed caught out. Was very good going forward. I thought he was winning the ball high up the field. He was trying to find players in the box with crosses. He was doing his job excellently. And we've said he looks a lot more like a liability in recent months. But if he can have performances like that, then Asby might be timeless. But I don't want to say it too early, because it is just one game. And we were saying literally in the last video that we were worried about playing him consistently. But it was a very good performance. And Cucurella, before I even go on to my last point, I can't forget about how good his build-up play was and how brilliant he was in the final third as well. I thought he was brilliant. Absolutely excellent from Cucurella. He can't go under the radar. Final point. We are going to end on a bit of a negative, but that's why I wanted to end it there. We do need to start games better. I think that's our only negative under Graham Potter, and I do think that can improve as well, but we can't shake that fact that we aren't starting games hitting the ground running. We didn't do it against Palace. Salzburg, I thought we were a bit slow. Especially in the last few weeks under Tuchel, we've been poor at the start of games. And yesterday was the same too. I thought quietly we were very bad in defending transitions in the first half, and we relied heavily on the fact that Wolves just weren't really a good side. I thought going forward, very good with our build-up play, but so wasteful. So wasteful. Like, someone in the comments section of one of the fan cams yesterday said we had 15 shots, 13 in the box, and 8 off target. And that is not good. A stronger team would have made us pay for being that wasteful in the first half. Obviously, it's Wolves. It didn't really amount to anything, and we still won 3-0, and we still played well, and I only want to focus on that. But I don't want people to think I'm negative just for bringing it up. Like, we do need to start games better, but I do believe Potter can build us up into that position. I'm not worried that that's going to be a factor throughout the season, but it is something that I do want people to be aware of. We aren't starting games that well. It is always a case of once we score, we batter them because the game opens up. And that does make me feel very confident for the AC Milan game as a result of it. But I don't think we're starting games well. And that's my only negative. But other than that, I think it was a very good performance from us. We absolutely dominated Wolves. And I didn't expect us to dominate that well for that long of the full 90. But yeah, I'm very happy with it. Let me know you guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Chelsea Fan TV. And we'll see you guys for the next video. Take care and peace.